Dorothy, we're not in Vegas anymore. It's the Benny Bear!
Hello. Amazing, aren't you?
So if what I said earlier did not make sense, well, that's because I'm a Vegas vlogger. I do travel videos all about Las Vegas on what to do, what to eat, and how to have fun. And this is my first out of Vegas video. Now you might be asking, what city are we in right now? Ben, where are we?
New York City. Well, technically we're still in Queens, but welcome to New York.
Now, I've never lived in New York City, but I have visited here countless times, and I feel like I've gotten to know the city pretty well. So I want to share as much knowledge as I can with you guys, plus a lot of pros and cons. And con number one, this traffic sucks, dude.
Look around you. To be honest with you, we're like moving 5 miles an hour, and it's gonna be like this for the next 40 minutes. You want to show 14 miles, 46 miles?
Oh Lord.
That's not even the worst. It's gotten worse than that.
I should just taken the Long Island Railroad. I went ahead and I booked a hotel because it was actually cheaper than an Airbnb. Like, I thought that was actually crazy. I booked this hotel because it was like near Herald Square and it's kind of like a central area. Okay, let's see how the rooms are here. Oh, okay. Huh. It's actually not bad at all. I mean, it is a little small, but that's kind of like all New York hotels. And honestly, when I was doing research, I found some other hotels around the same price range for way smaller. So this is actually not that bad. I mean, but it is just me, so I don't really care. Okay, let's get the day started. So in my opinion, one of the first things you should do as soon as you get to New York is get a Metro card. You don't want to have to rely on other transportation methods such as like Ubers or taxis because that's going to cost you a lot more. So the one that I recommend is going to be the one that's for 7 days. It's going to be $33. Even if you're not here for 7 days, I mean, you're pretty much going to use it to its full capacity because every time you swipe, it's $2.75. You can probably get like 10 swipes in just one day. So I think it's definitely worth it. One of the cons is that, like right now, where it's the middle of summer, we're like at the end of July, and it's kind of hot down here. So if you're trying to look cute, probably taking the subway is not the best thing because you are gonna start sweating. I'm like glistening already. I feel like New York has like just so many coffee shops that you just have to go and try something that's not Starbucks. And it's not just coffee shops. I mean, there's so much food here. I mean, from any cuisine, any country that you can think of. So as hungry as I am, I'm not gonna get something unless it's worth it. Now, as much as I love New York, the noise here is definitely a con. I mean, you're not escaping here to have a quiet, calm vacation. Like, this is gonna be a pretty chaotic trip for you. Yeah, lots of sensory overload. I mean, I don't mind it, but I don't know about y'all. It feels so weird like jaywalking here because back in Vegas, like that's the last thing I'm gonna tell you to do is to jaywalk. Don't do it in Vegas. But here I feel like it's a little bit more acceptable because here, like if you don't jaywalk, you might never get across the street. They do have tables to eat outside, but it's a little hot out and it's really humid. So I think we're gonna stay inside and enjoy a little bit of air conditioning. So I went ahead and I ordered a lox bagel. Oh my God, this is a pretty big sandwich right here. I can tell this is gonna be messy already. Oh my God. Oh, that salmon is amazing. That's some high quality salmon right there. And then it's gonna have your capers, tomatoes, really good cream cheese and cucumbers as well on an everything bagel. Obviously there's a whole bunch of like bagel spots all over the city, but I was kind of like trying to find a really good one. So this one had like amazing reviews and it lives up to it. Don't forget, I have a cameraman with me.
This is very tasty. Best bagel and coffee. I don't know if that's pun intended, but kind of live up to the name.
Now, if you're gonna be at a restaurant or a museum or a place that just has a bathroom, literally use it. Because here in New York, it's kind of weird. There's not really that many public bathrooms. So if you happen to be at a place that has one, just use it because you never know when you're gonna find another one. So what's kind of cool is that we're passing by something that's gonna be probably long gone from now. This is a 99-cent pizza spot. They're like little by little, they're like disappearing. So there's not that many left. I don't know if this one's gonna be here for much longer. We're right now on 35th and 7th Avenue. Hopefully it'll be here longer. Let's go walk off this bagel. So I always tell you guys to bring comfortable shoes because especially here in New York, you're gonna be walking a lot. Now that can be a good thing because you get your steps in and you work out a little bit. I mean, maybe if you don't do very well with like walking, it might be very hard for you to kind of like try to get around the city a little bit here. And then something else that's pretty cool is that yes, you have like the whole city to explore, and I really do love chaos, so to me like New York City is the perfect place to come vacation. But every once in a while, you're gonna wanna have like a quiet, calm moment. So that's why I think coming here to Central Park is freaking amazing because you can actually get a little bit of relaxation in between all the craziness out in the city. Let's go look at the turtles.
Want to pet it?
No, oh my God. They're so close, oh my God. Name a better petting zoo, I swear. Dude, there's just so many turtles here. Like, I know people can say that you could spend a whole day in Central Park. I could spend a whole day just sitting here looking at these turtles. Oh my God, look. I feel like this water's dirty. I just love turtle faces. Like, they look like they're so stuck up. They're like, pet me now.
So have you canoed in here before?
I have actually. I really like it, but I feel like it's more of a date thing. And I'm kind of here like alone on that. I don't know. And then plus it's like super hot outside. I really don't feel like being in the blaring sun right now. But no, I really like those. I think those are really fun to do. Now, we all know that New York is really expensive, whether you're just visiting or if you live here. Now, one of the cons though is that a lot of these vendors know that you're a tourist and will specifically mark the prices even more knowing that you're most likely gonna pay for that. Like these people that give you the bike tours, they charge so much. Like we asked one of them, it's $225 for 1 hour. Just 1 hour of them take you around the park. I mean, if you got it like that, great, but I mean, just know you're gonna be paying a lot. So just kind of a tip, if you did get the Metro card, the city bus is actually also included along, so you can ride this up and down if you don't feel like being down in the subway. So kind of like I mentioned that everything here in New York is really expensive. I mean, this is like a great way to keep your transportation costs low. One pro, there's so many good looking people here. Oh, and then there's there's just so many people here. Like already 8 million people live here in this city. And then we probably have like about 1 million tourists on the island at this time. I don't know if that's national number, but that's what it feels. Like I really feel like I see way more tourists than I do locals. So it is gonna be a very crowded place to be in. So just kind of be ready for that. I mean, if you are bumping into people, you almost have to like not take it personally and just move on with your day. And if you are gonna be taking pictures around the city, I mean, I would just say just kind of move out of people's way, you know, just don't be standing in the middle of the sidewalk, stuff like that, because I know locals hate that. And you know what, for a lot of people it might be a con, but personally I love chaos, so to me this is like the perfect city to visit. It kind of like smells a little bit. So it's funny, like you'll be walking around and like it'll smell really bad and then like walk another 10 feet and it's like it's gone. I mean, it's a city. Be prepared to get some random smells any time of the year, especially during summer because it's like so hot. So whatever trash that there is left out on the street, it just kind of like simmers and just like wafts into your breathing space. So I'm just letting you know so you're not surprised. Now it's not just like the freeways that have like crazy traffic here. I mean, pretty much anywhere in the city there's gonna be just an insane amount of cars. And that's another reason why I would say get a subway card. Like don't actually rent a car because first of all, like parking here, you're either gonna end up with a whole bunch of traffic tickets if you don't know where you're parking. Garages here cost like $50 a day, probably even more for all I know. But yeah, getting a subway card is gonna be way more convenient. You don't have to be worried about moving your car around. I just don't think this is a very good place to bring a car or have a rental car here. Plus the drivers here are pretty aggressive. I mean, everybody's in a huge hurry. I actually drove a car here once. I was scared out of my life. Like I kind of almost felt like the lanes were even smaller than like back home. I was just like, I was very afraid. So I don't recommend it. Now, even though traffic is pretty crazy here, what I think you should be aware about is gonna be people riding bicycles because they are vicious here. Like you could be walking around and they'll just like zoom right by you. Like they ride really fast. Like you're more in danger of getting hit by a bicyclist than you will a car. So if you can, try to stay on the actual sidewalk because I know a lot of people will walk in the bike lane and that's when you're most in danger. Like I almost got hit by a bicyclist once. They just like zoom right by me. Yeah, be careful with them. So if you kind of think about it, I had a lot more cons on my list than I did pros. But you know what? This is still one of my favorite cities to come visit. You just have endless options here. I mean, you can come to New York City 100 times and have a different experience every single time. Just be mindful of all the tips that I gave you. So as always, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, share it with your friends, and comment below. Tell me what are your pros and cons about New York City. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See you next time. Shit. No! Made it. Now we all know that New York City is, I sound dumb. Come on. Now you might be asking, what city are we in right now? Ben, where are we?
I wasn't expecting that. Okay, ready.
Have other transportation methods be the reason of why you don't. That didn't make sense. One. You can do it.
I think I popped my shoulder.
Oh my.
I'm really unfit. You have no idea.
I have like sweat droplets coming down my neck right now.
You can't see, don't worry.
Move it. So it's walking. I went ahead and I booked a hotel because it was cheaper there and
So have you done any of these canoe, right?
canoes, yeah. My shoes.
Yeah, I'm so brave.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3 now. No, wait, it starts to wait. Even though there's a bunch of traffic here, I think something that you guys should be more worried about. I'm like crying. Sorry. Ooh, it's hot, daddy, hot. Oh yeah, get the bird.